ladies and gentlemen, the man never stops working. We've just done Plank. Talk breakfast presenter and legend, Michael Graham. Good morning.
Hello,
Afternoon.
how are you? How are the devil are you?
We were on this morning. We've just been on, and now we're on again.
Well, I mean, there's no stopping us really, because I'm looking at a countdown clock here. It says 1 day, 17 hours, 56 minutes, and 32 seconds until tickets for our live show go on sale.
Put it up. Have you got it ready? This, ladies and gentlemen, was announced this morning. We're very delighted to tell you that Mike Graham and Jeremy Kyle's World of Common Sense is happening. First night only, first of many, trust me.
There it is.
It is at the Shepherd's Bush Empire on Saturday, November the 15th. Just what can they expect?
Well, I mean, who knows, right? Because a bit like the shows that we do, we're going to have a bit of a row round of how useless the government is.
Yep.
Of course, they might not be as useless by then, but I very much doubt.
Well, they might not be in power by then.
They might have lost the plot entirely by then. Maybe Keir Starmer will have resigned.
Yes.
Hope not, because we need him as a sort of fall guy for the shows.
But we've got a better fall guy,
Angela. Angela Rayner. We've got Rachel Thieves, of course, Richard III. You know, we've got the fake solicitor. You know, we've got the fraudulent former Secretary of State for Transport.
Yes.
Who has to be removed. We've got the Minister for what was it, corruption, who's now had to leave her job because she's been investigated for corruption.
Oh, and the homeless minister who's had to resign.
And the homeless minister who's been kicking people out of houses in order to put the price up and rent them to other people. And then there were three. What's the name? Three Pads Rayner, named by Michael yesterday as the Minister for Housing herself, yes, and exactly no other bugger. It'll be an amazingly fun evening, about an hour and a half, seated. Tickets, right, this is really important because we'd love to see you there. For people who are part of an O2 club today, but basically 10 a.m. Friday morning, get your tickets. It's via Ticketmaster. All the details are on that screen. You can catch out the details on his social media, and mine. We'll be talking about it. It's part of Talk as well, so it should be great. Looking forward to it. It should be great fun.
I haven't been on stage for ages.
No, I know, it's going to be great. Live audience, before a live audience is fantastic. I mean, you know what a live audience is like.
Yeah.
I mean, you did that for a while.
I did that for a while, looking forward to it. And have you noticed already the scurrilous attempts by our cheapskate colleagues who keep sidling up? Ryan went, as your producer, I'm thinking
free tickets.
A free ticket. I went, absolutely not. He went, well, Peter Cardwell has offered me a subsidised copy of his own book at his launch.
Subsidised?
I don't care.
Right.
You know, pay for your ticket, right?
Prop the door open with it.
Yeah, do whatever you want with it.
Who's going to read that?
We'll have some special guests, people that might surprise you.
Yes.
Good people as well.
We're not revealing that yet.
And there is a vicious rumour that for one night only, in a light-hearted way, that Donald Trump might actually be there and might have to face the lie detector.
The lie detector.
There's an awful lot going on.
There could be some DNA involved as well, at some point.
Possibly something to do with us too. There'll be DNA everywhere. But listen,
also, Shepherd's Bush Empire, famous theatre in West London.
Yes.
Not only famous because we're playing it, but also famous because Terry Wogan used to record his own show there, the Terry Wogan Show, which is quite extraordinary.
Sorry. Jeez, Jez, you look 90 years old. For that poster. Tanya says, good morning, good afternoon, Jed. I bought my ticket for the show at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
part of the
well,
U2.
she must be one of the O2 members.
Well, that's right. So we sold one. Hurrah! We sold one.
Listen, they're going like hotcakes, actually.
And for all the people, by the way, seriously, who've been in touch saying, we can't get to London, trust me, we'll be coming around the UK. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So. We'd love to see you there Saturday, November the 15th. If you do buy a ticket, my kids will get Christmas presents. If they don't, your conscience will forever be on you. But tickets on sale. We also should announce that on Thursday night you are off to America. God bless you. You never are going on holiday, but you've got a few days with the family.
I've got a few days with the family. All the kids are reuniting once again.
That can't happen in my house.
No, obviously not. My daughter is coming in from Dubai via Miami, where she's been spending some time with her mother. So that should be interesting. And my son coming from Los Angeles. My other son, Christopher, is already out there. He's been out there for a month working. Actually, I shouldn't say that because he's not supposed to be. He was firing a gun. He was firing a gun the other day, which was pretty unbelievable. And also, of course, I'm taking my other son, a 21-year-old, I'm taking him with me. So we'll be all reuniting my sister's house, which has an American flag flying outside it in Connecticut.
Might have to have it taken down. For all the people, by the way, who are wondering, yes, I am going to be doing breakfast for 4 days. Sorry about that, but we'll do it exactly like Mike does it with less finesse. But join us, please, Saturday, November the 15th via Ticketmaster. Tickets go on sale for Mike and Jez's World of Common Sense on Friday at 10 a.m. I just want to say this very quickly before we get into it. There has been breaking news of a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. It's a major city in the US state of Minnesota. People injured but no deaths will certainly keep you up to date. It's a horrible statistic. It seems to happen all the time. Both sources saying the shooting started an hour ago. The shooter is a man dressed in all black and carrying a rifle, but no fatalities. That doesn't make it right, that doesn't make it better, but somehow we will update you throughout the afternoon. Yesterday, MG, was, for me, with Farage, and despite what I'm doing at their conference in terms of doing the television, I want to hold, reform to task, as you do over the next 4 years, if they're going to become the next government. What was really interesting was, I saw a Prime Minister in waiting. I saw somebody prepared to take on the mainstream media and the left, and actually I heard somebody who had listened to what the people of this country are damn well worried about.
Yeah, because he's in touch with the people of the country, which you learn more and more about many of the people in the Westminster bubble who are just not. They sit in little rooms all by themselves. They don't really travel much outside of their own kind of little world, and they don't really talk to people, you know, and they're kind of really detached from society, and they don't understand, they never have understood the feelings of people who are standing outside migrant hotels, the mothers, their daughters, their sons, you know, fathers who are caring about the community that they live in and don't want it to be turned into a third world sort of trash dump.
We just did a story that on Plank of the Week, out on Friday, of course, as ever, that would, if you just took a couple of seconds, whatever you're doing, to just listen to this, that there is a migrant in a hotel, I think it is in Epping, who has complained that he's suffering from PTSD and is unable to leave his 4-star migrant hotel because he's concerned about women walking around with placards saying we're defending our children, and it's traumatised him so much that he can't go home.
They've been frightened to go out, he says. You know, and he comes from some war-torn country in Africa where supposedly, he's running away from things which are really, really terrible, torture, imprisonment, and he's frightened of a few women walking around with placards.
It's really interesting, though. Whatever you think of Farage and what he said yesterday, I'd love to hear from you as ever, 0344 499 1000. But it's patently working, because today we find that Labour's popularity has reached its lowest level in 6 years, prompting ministers to deny the party was running scared. Latest figures from a YouGov poll for The Times, our sister newspaper, showed just 20% of people, 20% only, would vote for Sir Keir Starmer. Whilst Reform has the lead in England and Wales, Labour's figures marked the worst results since 2019. Reform led the weekly voting intention, with 28% of respondents saying that they intended to vote for the party. They led across every region apart from London, where Labour topped the poll. Am I allowed to say why Labour topped the poll in London?
Go on.
Because there's not many Londoners in London, if we're absolutely honest.
Well, and also it's sort of the People's Republic of London now, you know, because let's not forget, when Jeremy Corbyn did have a terrible time at the general election in 2019, the only seat Labour won was Putney.
But let's make the point. Jeremy Corbyn got more votes, by the way, than Keir Starmer.
He did.
We'll talk about him in a sec. But actually, when you look at that poll, Mikey, and then you see, Ryan rang me up this morning, and I was astounded by this. Senior Labour figures have said that Britain should leave the ECHR. Ex-Home Secretary Jack Straw coming out today. Sir David Blunkett, legend, to be fair.
Both former Home Secretaries.
Both saying we should be out of the ECHR. Does this mean that the centre of the Labour Party is realising that they've lost the argument already?
Well, it means that the whole position on migrants, if you remember, only about 5 years ago, if the Tories suggested for a second even deporting people, it was like, oh, that's so cruel, how can you be thinking that? Now it's only the kind of crazy lefties who are saying things like that. You know, you can't send people back to Afghanistan. You know, other countries are doing it. Germany's already done it. Denmark's already done it. The EU have already earmarked a bunch of Afghans to be sent back. And let's face it, we've got more Afghans here than we need, let's face it, because we got loads and loads of them in by stealth. We flew them in under cover of darkness.
23,900, but some of them brought up to 25 family members.
Exactly. So there's over 150,000 of them here, right? And we don't even know if some of those people are in fact members of the Taliban anyway.
It's really interesting, actually, because when we did this yesterday, and Jack Straw and David Blunkett are big names. Lovely thoughts on that. You know, is Labour beginning to shatter its own feelings? 0344 499 1000. We talked about Farage. We've taken both sides of the argument, and lo and behold, the Taliban said, oh, we're happy to work with Farage. I mean, you know, they're obviously jumping in. Rwanda today saying we would be happy to work with Farage. Now, I understand the cynics, and I've listened to all the people say, oh, he's not going to be able to make it work, and you know, what did John McDonnell say? A welcome to reform in Great Britain where kids and children are going to die.
Yes, he's basically saying you're going to, you know, just absolutely be cruel to children.
But as you said to me earlier, not an absolute acknowledgement of young English girls who are being attacked.
No,
and it's happening, right, by the way?
It is.
It's happening.
It's happening every day. You know, we find out about some of the cases because some of the cases actually get solved by the police and they find the people responsible and they charge them. And in some cases they get put in prison. But I can guarantee you there are probably dozens and dozens of incidents that don't get ever investigated properly. And they never find anybody for them.
Completely, utterly agree. I've always been straight with you, ladies and gentlemen. They've just changed this. A US Justice Department official says that sadly 2 people have been killed in the shooting at the Catholic school in Minneapolis. The shooter has also been killed. 20 people injured. A US Justice Department talking about the latest horrific guns crime disaster. Catholic school in Minneapolis. We'll update you throughout the afternoon and, of course, on Talk News at the top of the hour. Going back to what we're talking about, let's have a look at what Nick Thomas Simmons, another Labour... He used to be on my show the whole time. They won't talk to us now, Labour. I don't know why that is. He's the Paymaster General.
Actually. What? It's probably because of me. They don't like me very much.
I don't care if your politics is different. You should be able to have a debate.
You should.
You can't just not talk
also, we pay their salary. We
pay
their salary. They have a duty to come and speak to our viewers and listeners.
Completely. The Paymaster General today saying that Nigel Farage is the issue. Have a listen, have a watch.
I wouldn't describe him as having outlined plans. I mean, Reform promised 4 months ago a comprehensive, detailed plan. I think we can safely say we are still waiting for it. We've heard about detention from Nigel Farage. He won't tell you where. He won't tell you about his plans for women and children who come here. But in addition to that, I heard Nigel Farage yesterday saying that he is going to negotiate with hostile regimes. He can't even negotiate the politics of a parliamentary party that could fit in the back of a taxi.
To me, right, and I like Nick Thomas Simmons, that is panic.
Yeah, it is.
A political party that, he's quite right, there's only 4 of them, but look at the noise and look at the impetus and look at what they achieved.
It's a bit rich, is it not, coming from the Labour government to accuse another party of not doing what they said they would do 4 months ago. I mean, this lot have done nothing about the migrant situation.
And the Tories before them.
And he keeps, the Starmer keeps putting out these tweets every sort of 5 minutes saying, if you come to this country, we will detain you if you've come illegally and we will return you. Well, he hasn't returned anyone.
No.
There's papers today saying that now there's a problem with the French deal because the French government is about to collapse. You know, so his mate Emmanuel Macron, who has been hugging, you know, sacre bleu. You know, they're not going to be able to, you know, stop them coming. Right? So that's all over and done with. The ones who have been detained, they claim there's about 100 of them. You know, 2,000, 3,000 have come since they announced there's one in, one out. They say they've got 100 people to get rid of, but of course they haven't done it yet.
But the other thing
they can't.
But the other thing is, it's really interesting is that, and I said it yesterday, I don't know what you think, it's so reactive, Starmer's politics. What Nigel Farage did yesterday, and it doesn't have to be Nigel Farage, is be proactive. To have the balls to put on your neck on the line and say, this is what I'm going to do. Of course you're all going to come at me. You're going to come at me about cost and you're going to say it's not achievable. But for me, as a voter, I want somebody to say to me, this is what I'm going to do. Not, I can't do it, or I'm going to throw out platitudes to make you think I know what I'm doing. The Labour Party, 100 being returned, is a direct response to this. It's not happened before that.
No.
Immigration will be, without any shadow of a doubt, and I said it 2 years ago, everybody laughed at me, not you, will be the #1 thing at the next election.
Of course
it will absolutely govern people's minds in the next 4 years because the British people are at the end of their tether.
They are, because the governments that have run this country for the best part of the last probably 15 years have been completely hopeless. One, defending our own borders. 2, allowing far too many people in legally, never mind illegally. And allowing the boat people to come. Since 2018, 6 years we've had of this, and now about 180,000 people. That's a big city. They're all here. And where are they all living? Many of them, most of them, are not in hotels anymore. They're all in houses up and down the country.
Listen, it's an issue.